Hey, welcome sports fans. We're back with a 1974 APBA Extreme Unboxing where we're going over the individual teams, specifically for the 74 season, mint condition. Today we're going to be looking at the Cincinnati Reds. There's a poll out there. One of the teams chosen was the Reds. It's Rose Morgan, Bench, Perez, Dreesen, Geronimo, Concepcion, Foster, and Griffey, splitting time in right field. And you have the subs or the utility guys are Plummer, Cheney, Crowley, and Redmond. Then the not a lot of pitchers on these old seasons with 20 cards. You've got Gullett, Kirby, Billingham, Norman, and then Bourbon, Carroll, and Hall in the bullpen. But then you get 4 extra players. For the Reds, it is Gagliano, Nelson, Carroll, and Bainey in relief. So you got a couple of pitchers, probably guys, spot starter types. You got an infielder, Gagliano, and then you got the relief guy, Bainey. So that's 24 total players in 1974. Let's look at that team. And remember, like and subscribe to my channel. Now, this team has been messed with. I'm not sure if it was me who messed with it, but somebody put it together here. So anyway, let's go over the players. It may have been me, I don't know. I don't think it was, but it's Dan Dreesen. He can play third base, first base, and outfield 1. He's got he's got second column power, a little bit, very minimal power. He's got home runs at 22, 44, not at 55, so he didn't hit many home runs. But he does have some base hits, and he does have a 9 at 35, so probably above 280, I'd say. Here is Joe Morgan, nickname P. Those nicknames are a little bit questionable. There's a story floating around out there that a guy knew somebody who knew somebody in the Kansas City Royals maintenance crew, on the field crew and so on. And at one point it was a conversation about APBA and George Brett's nickname, and somebody approached him with the card to sign the card, the APBA card. George Brett looked at the nickname and says, nobody's ever called me that. Maybe not to his face, but so I don't know how much effort was put into verifying those nicknames. But anyway, so this is a lefty batter. This is another lefty batter, the Chief Geronimo, outfielder 3. So he's given a top defensive rating for APBA Basic. There's no advanced master stats on these, and there's no stats at all. And I don't believe that APBA cards should have stats on them. I think that's the beauty of the card, And if you watch my video called "The Appeal of APBA," I think that's one of the elements that differentiated APBA from other companies, in that APBA was the big name, the big name with the weight and the height and where he was born and so on. It was one third of the card is taken up by his personal data, if you will. So, and Geronimo has a good season as well here. So there's several things that I'm looking at to identify the seasons, and I didn't do it on the first couple, but I will on this one. He's got some walks, but he also has a 9 at 35. So he hit probably, in the 280, 290s, I'd say. When you got the walks, he doesn't have any walks in the third column, but he does have a couple of walks in the second column and his standard 1 in the first column. But with a 9 at 35, I'd say he's above 280, 290 even. And you can, comment and let me know. Ken Griffey, another lefty batter, not given a good rating, but he kind of split time in right field that season. He's got a 3 injury rating. He has some stolen bases at 15. He walked at 36. He walked at 45. Walked at 13. And no walks in the third column. Did not hit very well, as you can see. Oh, he's got a walk at 31, but no hit there. He's got a 9 at 51. It's a combination here I'm seeing, because that 11 is an automatic hit, whereas the 9 can be taken away. But he does have an 8 at 22, so I'd say not a totally great hitting season for Griffey. Here's a switch hitter, Pete Rose. And Rose is in the outfield in 74, and as you can see, he's giving a top defensive rating of a 3. Let's look at his walks. 1 there, 3 here. So he's got a walk at 35, a walk at 42, a walk at 45, and that's gonna elevate his batting average. Walk at 64. So he's got a ton of walks. He's got a couple of 7s, and he's got a couple of 9s. So he has a good season. I'd say he has a good season. I think like all these Reds are having good seasons, pretty much. I mean, I don't see this as a very good season. Let's see the walks. He's got 3 walks there, no walks there, 1 walk here, but no 7 at 44. He's got a potential stolen base at 15 with runner on base. So he has a few steals, but not a lot of power, not his standard power. He does have second column power at 11, 15, 22, 25. So he definitely hits over, I'd say, over 10 home runs for sure. And but he's a J3, so he, I believe, splits time in right field as well. Dave Concepcion, right-handed hitter, finally. Well, it's two in a row, right? I think Foster was a right-hander as well. Concepcion, top defensive rating at a 9. 9 and 10 are the top shortstops. And there's another set of boards out there that you can use, and it kind of goes deeper into defense than your standard basic boards. And you can watch my video. Try the, I think it's called Jumpstart Your Game. Try these boards. Concepcion has 11 at 15, 11 at 25, so he steals some bases for sure, and those are automatic hits, so he has a good season. Not a lot of walks. He's got 2 walk numbers, but he has definitely a good hitting season, and steals, automatic steals, 15, 25, and potential, with a 10 at 51. Here is Johnny Bench. He's got the power. He's got a 1, 5, 6, 6. So 1, 5, 6, 6. That's a automatic home run. The 5 is with runners on first and third, runners on first. So that'll happen a lot. And the 6 could be a home run with a runner on third base. Doesn't happen very often. But Bench has good power numbers, and he's a top defensive catcher. Can play third base and first base in a pinch. So next we're going to go to the bullpen and the starting core. We'll start separating those out. We got Pedro Borbon, who's a B, so that's a pretty good. And he's got a Z, which means he's got control. Doesn't have much strikeout potential there. Next, you have a kind of spot starter, Clay Carroll. He's an A in the bullpen, a C starter in case you need him to start a game. He's a Z, so he's got his control. You got another, you got Don Gullett, a B starter with an X and no Z. That means he will give up a few extra walks. You got Clay Kirby with a Y, so he has strikeout potential, maybe a little bit less than Gullett, but he also has a wild streak. Here you got Hall, a D pitcher. That's basically the league average. Whatever the league average is, that's what APBA calculated a D to B, but he does give up more walks and strike out a few extra players. Here's another starter, Fred Norman. So they got 3 B starters who don't have, and he's from San Antonio, Texas. How do you like that? And he's got no Z again, has a wild streak in him with an X, so he can strike out some guys. Billingham. And that's a C, so he's, probably before the league average. Now you got a utility guy in Darryl Cheney, pretty good. B, he's a second column defense at third, second column defense at second, and second column defense at short. So he's a good replacement for sure. at a J2, so he does play in some games. Here you got a backup catcher for bench, Bill Plummer, at a 7. Not a great catcher. Terry Crowley, pinch hitter. Not much power, but does hit doubles, 66, 33, and 11. Then you got Merv Retman, backup guy with a 2, so he's not a terrible defender. He's a middle-of-the-road defender, but he has some power. Does have some stolen base potential with those 10s, and not a lot of extra base hits. But he does have that 1 at 66. He can come through for you in the clutch in the late inning game, hit a couple 2-run shot, and tie or win a game. Now we get to, we still have to go to, we never talked about the dog, Tony Perez. Below average first baseman, because you have 3, 4, and 5. 3 is probably the worst. He's slow runner. He does have some hits, especially the 7s at 22 and 44, which are good for RBIs. And he's got 2 walks there, no walks there. He's got 2 walks, so I'd say 270 hitter with some power. 1, 5, 6. So that 1 is automatic home run. So you're talking about 22, 25 home runs with a JO, maybe a few more. Just a guess. Here you get your extra players. Tom Carroll. Clay Carroll we already have. So we got 2 Carrolls. And I don't think they're brothers, because one is from Alabama, one's from New York. That's like brother versus brother in the Civil War, right? So Carroll is a W. That means he will walk more than the league average for sure. So he's definitely wild. Then you got Dick Bainey, who can, he's got no star on his card, so he can, even though he's marked as a relief pitcher, a bullpen guy, in the roster sheet for the extra players, he doesn't have that star, so he can start in a pinch as well. But with a D, he's just a league average. And Nelson, another league average guy who can start in a pinch. And then you have your utility infielder in case Cheney's not available for whatever reason, or you used him. Greg Gagliano. He's not a very good second baseman, not a very good third baseman, not a very good first baseman. He's not a good pinch runner with a slow rating. I usually hold my slow guys. And that's about it for the Cincinnati Reds today. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel. This is Tabletop Dice Baseball. And your host, Tony Porter. Watch all my other videos. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.